Drunk text, I saying something stupid again. Wake up in the morning just to do it again.
Welcome to a new episode of Stealing Home. It is Saturday, October 14th.
It is.
We've done this 3 times already. Let's hope this is the one we keep. This is Anthony, the brother.
Yeah, and this is Lisa, the sister.
And we're here to talk some baseball.
Yeah, but I did want to ask, because I know you went to go see something special last night at the movie theaters with Mom.
Oh, God.
I did want to ask you about that before we jumped into baseball. I know it's a baseball show, but I was actually interested. Show. Let the people know. Okay,
so I am not a Swiftie. I'm not. A lot of my friends think I'm in the closet. I'm not a Swiftie.
Like it's about Swifties?
Yeah, okay. Like a closet Swiftie. I'm not in any way a Swiftie. Box, closet, porch, anything. Light, whatever. But I had a friend who he had bought like an entire, almost like a row of seats.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he rented out the theater.
No, but if he would, he could have. And so he was like, hey, I have like a bunch of seats. Do you want to go? And do you know anyone else who would want to go? And I didn't have any plans and I was interested for the business. So here's how I fucked up. I thought that the movie was going to be about like the behind the scenes, like how did they get this giant production all over America? Like I was here like for the business girl.
Wasn't it just, and again, she went to go see the Taylor Swift Eras Tour movie in theaters, and wasn't
on opening
it just
night,
like a live feed of like one of her concerts?
Yeah, I didn't know that. So I show up, and I sat down. We got drinks beforehand. I sat down. And I said, I'm so excited to see how they put this together. Like it's going to be so interesting. I can't wait to hear like what deals they did and like how they did all the logistics and the trucks and everything. And none
of that.
But yeah, my friend's sister was there and she looks at me and she's like, "The fuck are you talking about?" And I was like, "Well, that's like." She's like, "No, that's not what this is."
So she knew going in what she was getting.
She's a Swiftie.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is all those people had gone to the concert. And I'm like,
you got to relive it.
That's what they wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
She was like, I blacked out for the concert. Now I get to watch it for real. I was like, this is insane. So yeah, it was good. I'm glad that she told me about me not getting the documentary part before, because I would have been like, I was disappointed when they told me at the restaurant. Like I was actually sad.
The food helps you digest.
I was digesting the news and digesting my burger, and I was also thinking like, damn, that sucks. I hope they do that someday because I really want to know that information. I think that's really interesting. This is the nerd.
One day it will come out.
One day it will.
Because you know she's gonna make money on that.
Yeah, that's the kind of nerd I am. That's what I want to know.
That's interesting.
It is to me. Sure. And so anyway, but it was good.
Were there any like high school, middle school girls doing like, I don't know if you see videos.
Did you see Mom? Like, or did you talk to Mom? Did Mom tell you anything?
No. So I'm saying, like, did you see like the videos where the girls were like singing and dancing in the middle of the theater?
Yes, that happened. So what I said to my friend, I said,
it did happen.
I said, look, is this going to be a sing along? Because I can't handle that. Like, I can't. I'm leaving. And he was like,
I feel like that's what it was.
He's like, it is going to be like basically
and then you left.
All the worst news I could get. Like, like they're singing. So he goes, there are going to be people singing, but if they're screaming, and I said, are they going to do that thing? Because you Gen Zers now have this stupid shit.
I don't know what I am. So you say you Gen Zers.
Okay, you are though. And these young kids like go to concert. Young kids.
I'm in my 20s. Baby, by the way. I'm a 90s baby.
I'm still in my 20s. But they like go to concert and they like yell instead of singing. Have you seen that?
Like just yell the lyrics?
Yeah.
That's just...
I hate that.
That's what people do in general.
I hate that. And then he was like, if they're screaming, I'm walking out. And so I said, cool, we're all on the same page. I went. There were people dancing in the aisles. It was like people watching. Like I would like poke Mom and be like, look at those people over there. Or like, look at these people over here. The funniest part to me is like, so we're in the seat with recliner, like in these theater with the reclining seats. They're like really nice. And I'm like sitting there and it's the acoustic set. She's coming up for the acoustic set. And I play guitar. So I've been having a lot of fun just looking at all the guitars because I could get up, like you can see in detail which guitar she's holding.
Sure.
And no, it's true because during the acoustic set, I noticed she had a capo on. And I was like, I wonder what song she's going to sing. She didn't use the capo, but then the capo had moved. So I was like, is this filmed over like 3 days? Because clearly it doesn't matter. I'm
starting to now understand what it's like when I'm just rambling on about baseball and I don't know what you just said the last 2 minutes. What is a capo?
Okay.
No, I don't need to know. Let's get into the baseball.
Yeah. But I think there's one in this. There's probably one in this room.
Is it the little thing that goes on the
Yeah,
neck.
that it changes the key of the
okay.
guitar, so
I
you
know
don't
what
have to
capo
change
is.
the key yourself
Alright.
physically. Anyway, so I'm settling in like,
Oh God.
oh,
We keep going.
I'm going to like have a nice acoustic moment. And as soon as she starts singing the songs, the girl behind me
Oh God.
screams bloody fucking. I jumped as if there was a gunman in this theater. I was like, oh my God, what's going on? And no, she was just really excited about that particular
She
song.
loves capos.
And let me just say, like, I do know Taylor Swift songs. I did not. There was one song that I was like singing to because I liked it. The rest, I kind of bobbed my head a little bit, but my friends were like, we're going to watch you dancing. I'm like, it didn't happen. I'm watching a concert. Like, it's the weirdest thing.
I wouldn't mind it. But how that girl screamed behind you and
That
how she was into
insane.
Taylor Swift?
It scared me. Like, legitimately.
That's been me this whole past week with baseball.
Okay, let's talk about it then. Tell me to be a Swiftie about baseball.
That's what I do. That's literally the best way to describe me.
It's true.
So, if they had the ability to like rent out a theater and you just sit there and watch baseball,
all the games on like these giant screens,
I'd be there.
I think that's just called like a Buffalo Wild Wings.
yeah, exactly. And there's hot chicks and wings. So
exactly.
yeah, I'd rather go to that.
There you go.
Well, I guess we'll just kick it off with Phillies and Braves. That was a really good series. I know you were actually. I don't know if you watched it, but you put on.
I did.
The last game of that series.
I did, yeah.
A lot of great storylines in that series. I mean, it went in 1-1 Philly and Atlanta, and Philly ended up winning
the last two
games in Philly. But really, what do you know about the shortstop for the Braves, Orlando Arcia, given those comments, and then Bryce Harper?
No, I don't know much of anything.
Okay, gotcha. Well, as the Phillies were absolutely just punishing Atlanta, and it looks kind of like Atlanta was the big brother record-wise. They had a better regular season, but like when you just get to October, it kind of looked flip-flop like Philly was.
There's been a lot of talk about that, especially like with the wild card game series and how a lot of like 100+ win teams didn't go far.
We'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there. But I wanted to show you pretty much what this storyline is with Arcia. It's been all over baseball. I'm not sure if you've seen it, and you said you haven't, so I'll show you this. This is a tweet from Jake Mintz, who I learned is one half of a Twitter account called Cespedes Barbecue. Pretty funny baseball Twitter account. A lot of people follow it. He's also now, I guess, a reporter for Fox Sports. I'm not sure. But he tweeted this after Game 1. Remember that play we watched? Mm-hmm. Bryce Harper got doubled up? He tweeted this after Game 2 and the game that Atlanta won. Shortstop Orlando Arcia cackled emphatically about Harper's misfortune, bellowing, "Ha ha, attaboy Harper," repeatedly as reporters circled the room.
Okay.
So he reports that.
Oh, is this that stuff all about how the locker room is sacred or whatever?
We'll get
and then
there. So you know it.
Babe, it's not sacred.
We'll get there. Save that thought. So
have you been in everyone's been in a locker room.
Yeah.
And like it ain't sacred is not the word I would use.
We'll get there. But that's what was reported, and obviously baseball runs with it because it's like finally something juicy, a little beef going on. Maybe
some chatter,
little chirping
back and forth. Yeah.
Now, obviously, Arcia said it in his clubhouse and not like on the field as it happened, like chirping him. So there was like nothing like that. It was kind of like just him having a fun time in the clubhouse with his fellas. But obviously, it got reported out by Jake Mintz, and going into Game 3 in Philly. Now you're at Harper's house.
Mm-hmm.
Harper put on a show, as in like a, hey, fuck you, pal. And I wanted to bring up these 2 home runs, and we'll watch them. Game 3, Harper actually crushes 2 bombs against the Braves, and this is the first one here. Tied game 1-1 going into it. Again, remember, at this point in the series, Phillies won Game 1, and then they should have won Game 2, but the Atlanta Braves stole it. Harper gets doubled up, chirping, attaboy Harper. Yeah. This is how Harper responds.
Stays put, and there's a high fly ball, deep right field. Harper watches it fly.
This is an absolute beast, and the Philly crowd is going.
Oh well, berserk. Yeah. I mean, that's the Philly crowd for anything.
It's been one of the best stories in baseball. I think it's just how much this team loves Philadelphia and their fan base, and how much their fan base loves them back.
Yeah,
it's kind of like every single one of these people in the crowd are Swifties, and that team is Taylor Swift. And if you think one home run was like he answered, attaboy Harper, he answered. No, he literally hit a second one later in the game, and that's this one right here. That's not this one right here. It is. Let me pull this up. Harper's second home run of the game, right here. And I wanted you to point it out too. Each time he hits a home run, watch this. Also,
Wow.
Also note the score. The Phillies are absolutely slapping.
Destroying, yeah.
Watch this though. Arcia plays second base or shortstop as he's rounding second.
I
He
see it.
stares that man down. So both times he did it too. Both times he did it.
Bryce Harper's kind of a daddy too. Like,
You think so?
yeah, look at that man.
I guess. I mean, he's a stud.
I mean,
see him in a
it's-
different light.
I was gonna say it's easy to look good when you've just hit like 2 bombs, but also
yeah,
like
I think I would look pretty sweet if I hit 2 bombs and was staring down the shortstop.
no
after he
comment.
tossed
But
that.
yeah, this is funny.
And and obviously those bombs gave way to a sweet photo. Bryce Harper staring down Arcia, and
Yeah, come on, that man is hot.
yeah,
This is a great photo
I
of him.
guess.
I would hang this. I would hang this in my house if I were
I guess
him.
bro does look like a
Look at that
gladiator.
guy. Yeah,
right now.
exactly.
He's a freaking professional athlete. He's an absolute stud. If you want to see the stare down again, this is like baseball news everywhere. This is another video of the stare down happening. Again, they're just like constantly. Look, I mean, he's like, hey, he's telling him there, like, hey,
Well,
fuck
and
buddy.
you know what's crazy about this whole thing? Oh no, I'm thinking of another play. It wasn't Harper was the hit and run, right?
That was
issue.
Orioles Rangers.
Okay.
That was with Aaron Hicks that was a different
Yes.
situation.
Okay, yeah, because I was
This
gonna
was
say,
him getting doubled up. Arcia saying in his
right,
clubhouse with
but
his
that was
fellas.
because he had
different
different situation.
situation.
Okay, because I was gonna say there was that one guy who was just being a good teammate, and so if someone talks shit on me for not throwing my teammate under the bus, that'd be a different
completely
story.
totally opposite. It's another
Totally,
player on
yeah.
a different team kind of chirping at him
Yeah,
with
yeah,
his
yeah.
clubhouse, but it got reported and Harper found out
Exactly.
about it.
Yeah. So no, I'm gonna stare you down. That's funny.
Yeah, and it was like, hey, I'm gonna hit 2 bombs the next game, and then as I'm rounding the bases, I'm gonna stare at you to like let you know that I heard you,
And then we're gonna
and
fight.
and I'm rounding the bases, so like, hey, like are you gonna say "attaboy" now? You know, it's kind of like a rallying cry for Philly now. But these were obviously like that happened. So Arcia's comments get reported on in the clubhouse, and a reporter talks about it.
Right.
Harper responds with 2 home runs, and the Phillies whooped them.
So what
10-2.
did Harper say in the clubhouse? Because if
No.
this was like middle school girl stuff, then Harper would wait for
It's like
reporters to
notes.
walk around and be like,
Actually,
haha, attaboy, like say some other shit.
when Arcia came into the clubhouse the next day, there was a note from Harper.
Oh, was there?
No,
Oh.
but that'd be like a high school.
No, I'm just saying like Mean Girls just say something else in front of the reporter. You never actually talk to each other.
Oh.
You just keep saying
It's like, well,
shit.
tell him. I said.
Yeah. Well, I think
Well,
that
tell
he
him.
looked fat.
Tell him while I was passing second, I was staring at him because he looked ugly. And I
Yeah,
didn't know who
because
he
he
was.
looked fat in those pants.
Yeah, that
Like,
man stunk.
what?
He was stinky.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, but this was, they asked Arcia after the game, like, hey, you know, how do you feel about this getting out, being reported? He says, they asked him.
Bullshit.
No,
Sorry,
he-
I read ahead.
Yeah, no, he wasn't supposed to hear it. That's why we were saying it in the clubhouse.
Yeah. Bullshit.
I don't think he's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
I don't think he's bullshit.
You're aware
when reporters
are
exactly.
there. I work in media.
Yeah,
Like,
you know when
you're
to-
not unaware that I mean, I can see, like, don't get me wrong, okay, emotions run high. Yes, there are going to be moments where you're not aware that a reporter's there. It's even happened to me that I'm not aware, like, for whatever reason, something's going on, and I,
There's
like,
cameras
you are a
everywhere.
reporter, and
Yeah.
I, like, forget you're next to me because
And-
there's, like, something going on
Yeah.
really important in front of me.
I think reporters stick out like a sore thumb in a major league clubhouse.
Well, so
though.
that's what
I don't think there's
that,
any
and, like, it's
gladiators
not,
like Bryce Harper just like taking notes.
It's an important game, but also, like, we're not into the World Series yet. We're
No,
not
there's-
at.
Well, you gotta think. This is baseball media reporters covering baseball. It is playoffs. There's a lot.
That's
of,
true.
It's not.
But what
like
I'm
obviously
saying is,
CNN's not sending like.
but what I'm saying is, like, for the clubhouse, it's not like they're popping bottles of champagne after every game
No.
at this point.
Yeah,
like,
you're right,
it's
you're
still
right.
a regular. It's not regular. It's postseason. It's important, but also different levels here. So I say bullshit. Like, and you said it multiple times, allegedly. So you wanted it to be heard, is what I'm hearing. Like, bro, you know what? Man up. If it were me and it was heard, I wouldn't come with this baby shit. I'd be
Yeah.
like, you know what? Attaboy, and I would tell him now, attaboy, Harper. That's all I would say. Like, my man up and own that.
I agree. I would have, if someone asked me like, "Hey, what?" I'd just been like, "Look, I said it. It is what it like." And hey, he got
and
it.
attaboy,
He got
exactly.
it. I
Like, he
would say-
did it. He did it this time.
Hopefully, I'll say attaboy Phillies when we're shaking hands in Atlanta in a couple of days. You know, like
Right.
like hopefully we forget about this when we beat them and come back and beat them. Like if you don't want him to stare you down and be mad at your comments, then beat him.
But also don't be the guy who's like, well,
He wasn't supposed. I didn't know he was.
I didn't know that anyone was listening. Like,
Yeah, no, it's lame.
sir, come on, you're a grown adult.
So that was Arcia's comments. These are Travis d'Arnaud's comments. Travis d'Arnaud is the catcher for the Braves, and this when he was asked about the situation, this is what he had to say.
The clubhouse is a sanctuary, and I think when things like that get out, it doesn't make people want to talk to the media at all. It affects the people who have been great to us all year, and it is what it is.
So that's him expressing, hey, the clubhouse, and I understand it. The
I get.
players are saying, hey, the clubhouse is like our spot. We should be able to,
Then don't let reporters in. That's my thing. Look, this is the world we live in now.
yeah,
Reporters do come into locker rooms for pretty much all sports.
yeah.
Like, if it was this sanctuary, this sacred space, this honored,
You wouldn't be allowed in.
you wouldn't come in.
Exactly.
Exactly. And so if they are going to be in, and you know what? They're not there the whole time. There's a moment
It's
when
like
they're
that,
there,
yeah,
and
well,
then they leave.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
like, don't. I hear he looks very sad and
Well, he also just got his ass whooped.
adorable. So, yeah. true.
Former Rays
So
legend
this is
Travis d'Arnaud.
So I don't want to be like too mean to him. But on the on the off chance, or on the other hand, it's like, dude, you know they're there. Like, come on. What are we talking
Exactly.
about?
No, I get it. I understand.
There's
too.
been interviews with guys in like full ass jock straps.
Yeah.
But this is the sacredness? Like,
Yeah.
come on, man. Like,
No.
and like I said, it's up to the other guy to stand by his comments. If that's what you said, then that's what you said.
I wouldn't mind that even getting out, honestly. It's like, yeah, I said attaboy Harper. He got doubled up.
Also, I mean, not to get too inside baseball about like media, but that's also a conversation I would assume from, PR team to reporter. Because if something really did come out and this again goes to my feeling that Arcia did want that to be heard, because if something came out that really wasn't supposed to, that's a phone call to the reporter. You have a relationship with these people. Like, these are not gotcha reporters. They're not out. Yes,
they're just reporting the sport.
They're not out for the story, not trying to make you a villain. Like, you can call them and be like, hey, you might have
It's already
heard.
out there, though.
Right.
Well, like, how? I mean, no, I don't think so. Because you're
I'm
saying
just-
you might have heard. No, like, because
I'm just saying,
PR doesn't have on tab what people say in the clubhouse.
if someone said something in the clubhouse, it was a
It
big
wasn't
deal.
that big a deal,
That's
though.
what I'm saying,
Yeah, it
though.
wasn't that
This
big-
whole thing
okay,
is stupid.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Exactly. Because if it was a big deal, they would have been able to get it,
Yeah,
not
listen,
run.
And at the end, I mean, Harper knows it's not a big deal, too. It's just like,
and so does
it's
Arcia.
something little. He said it. Harper hit 2 home runs.
I would have done the same thing if I were Harper.
Yeah, like,
And I'm just saying I
let
would've
him know
had-
I heard you.
And I would have had a different statement if I was the other guy.
Yeah, the Brave stance from where they stand. Like, hey, this was in the clubhouse. We said it in our house. What's
Their
in the
sacred
clubhouse?
space.
Yeah, their sanctuary, right? their chapel. What is said in the chapel stays in the chapel.
Right.
What you see here stays here. That kind of thing. This is Alana Rizzo giving her take on MLB Network. She's a MLB Network personality, journalist, does awesome work. I love Alana Rizzo. I grew up with her, watching her on Quick Pitch when I was little every morning, giving the recaps on MLB Network. This is what she had to say on the subject. I did want to preface this by saying she did apologize for these comments.
Okay.
And again, don't know if it's pressure or she actually switched her mind later, but she did apologize for the comments, and this is what Alana had to say on the topic.
And it's making it worse for the people that are there every single day, covering this team on a daily basis, and then some jack-off comes in at the end of the season that gets a credential, God only knows why, and the clubhouse is a sacred space.
So
Okay.
there was a lot more she said too, but it was along
But
those lines.
this is the gist of it.
Yes, pretty much saying like, look, it's not like she was ripping him.
It sounds
It
like
was
it,
not-
yeah.
she was very-
She seems pissed.
It seems personal, and she was
Yeah.
mad. And she said, "Hey, look, like there's reporters that cover the team 24/7.
Yep.
When playoffs happen, these scrubs, jack-offs, like she said,
Yeah.
get media credentials, and then they just go in and they ruin it for everyone else because, like, I guess she was referencing the player-journalist relationship.
Right. That's what I'm talking about, too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, you heard her. She was like,
So she ended up apologizing for this.
She did. Yeah, she did.
And what was her apology?
It was just kind of like, hey, look at like, I honestly, I'm not. I don't want to speak for her. I didn't have her apology,
Paraphrase it. Like
it was
what
kinda
the
like,
general
hey,
idea.
like, hey, look, I'm sorry for calling you a jack off. You were doing your job, and turns out Jake Mintz, who reported it,
He's
again,
a Fox reporter.
He was with Fox. He's a part of the Baseball Writers Association. So he's not some jack off. He's not some jack off.
Yeah.
And he's part of Cespedes Barbecue. I mean, he's worked and done great work to get where he is.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like he just got a media credential because of nothing.
And when you let a reporter into your space, you're aware
that
that's their job.
Yeah, that they're good. Like anything you say.
What are you talking about?
And that's another thing they were talking about on the record or off the record. Like
Right.
you got to understand, like when a reporter's there,
You're on the record.
what just happened?
Sorry. Technical difficulties. When a reporter is there, you are on the record. Even if you say you're off the record, you are still on the record.
Exactly.
And you need to be very careful.
And I think I agree with like this, Alana Rizzo type, like, went to school for it probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. But like
she's
major
obviously
network,
worked really hard to be on a major network talking about baseball.
That's probably where
very
a lot
hard.
of this comes from. Is from her own hard work and getting to where she's at.
Yeah.
And then you got a guy who's, Jake Mintz, who's gotten there in a different way. But her comments, she apologized for him, and it did come off as kind of like just a little bit of like a place of like entitlement. Like, who are you to be screwing with the way we do things?
I won't give her that, but I will say it does feel like very
crybaby
inside baseball. Like, this is our stuff, and you're an outsider. You don't get to come in and do this. And I think the other part of it is like, as a reporter, it can be. I feel like a lot of these reporters that cover the same topics, you get really personally attached to the thing. So I'm sure Alana Rizzo is very like personally attached to teams and like, would defend them and stuff because she's got a relationship with these guys.
So just closing on this, what my take is, look, the guy is a reporter in the locker room. The players know you're in the locker room. He's going to do his job. He did his job, and it was good for baseball. So why would we reprimand this guy or give him any kind of crap for doing his job and doing a good service to the sport?
This is the stuff you want.
It's juicy, baby.
This is what you want.
This is juicy.
And also, again,
I want to hear Arcia talk shit about Harper all the time. I want to see other players talk shit more.
That's why if I'm advising Arcia, I'm not telling him to walk that back. I'm not doing this whole sanctuary thing. I'm saying, yes, we said that. Yeah, you heard it. And you know what? I'll say it again.
I'm going to stand on business.
And I'm going to stand on that.
Stand on business.
I said it with my chest.
Yeah.
In the locker room.
And when we beat you, I'm going to say it again.
Right. And if we lose, well, then good job.
I'm going to Cancun and golfing. Yeah.
Right.
Which is what he's doing now.
Yeah.
But you went out like a baby back bitch instead of going out like
I don't like to call anyone that, but yeah, you were kind of a baby. So maybe grow up. Don't cash checks that what is it? Don't write checks that your ass can't cash.
Sure.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, exactly. I know you're
Don't say shit that you can't back up.
Yeah, but side note here, so we've been talking about how the clubhouse is a sanctuary, a sacred place of Zen, where only the players go, where they meditate and do yoga.
Yeah.
I thought this was funny. The Phillies, after they beat the Braves, this tweet says, the clubhouse is a sanctuary, and it shows the clubhouse.
But that's the thing, is like we've all seen
a sanctuary, yeah, buddy.
And you know what?
It's a glorified frat house.
Well, and the reason I'm not going to say that because a lot of work happens in there, I'm sure. But what my point is, like, we see these images because why?
There's reporters.
Because there are reporters in the clubhouse. Like,
but it's sacred. It's sacred. It's sacred, buddy.
I don't know, man.
All these videos of players cursing and stuff mid victory speech.
Right.
Don't report on that, bro.
This like full Bud Light suit of armor he's got on, like totally.
With the overalls, it's a good look.
It's religious, obviously. It's a sanctuary.
Well, just continuing, that was Game 3. Harper hitting all those home runs. That was Game 3, yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
In Game 4, the Phillies did. It wasn't as much of a butt whooping, but the Phillies were in control the whole time. It was 3-1. They ended up winning. There were a couple big key moments. One of these is Castellanos' 650-foot bomb. And I just wanted to show you this and just a little bit so you can see, at least kind of feel the energy from the Phillies fans in this clip. Because it's actually unreal.
Now with 2 away. He homered his last time up down the left
Castellanos,
field line inside the pole. Castellanos
see a ball, hits the ball to the moon.
Way back. Goodbye.
ball literally went like 700 feet. That's his son Liam.
Oh, that's so cute.
So they're just having a blast. I mean, and obviously Castellanos hits that bomb. The Phillies don't ever look back. They end up whooping the Braves. And there's another big play though in this game. And this is when I texted you to turn it on.
Yeah.
I was like, Lisa, turn it on. And do you remember what the situation was? Why I was like, yo, turn this on.
Weren't they up with the tie run?
The Braves were up to bat.
Right.
Down a couple runs.
Down 2, the tie run up, right?
Yeah.
On, and then, I can't remember the rest, but I remember all that.
So the situation was 3-1, and Lisa, you just got back from doing something.
Yeah.
And I texted her, hey, put the game on right now. You're going to want to see this. Acuna's up with the bases loaded. It's a 3-1 game, and the top of 7. 2-2 count, 2 outs. Were you able to see the play?
I don't think I was.
It was pretty nasty. He hits a shot to the gap. I didn't think it was gonna get out, but you start seeing the outfielders move, and it's like, holy shit, this might get down.
Oh, I did see this. Yeah,
exactly. And Rojas out in center field makes a great play for the Phillies. And this was a good series, even though the Phillies handled them. I think it was just good in the respect that the Phillies were standing on business, and the storyline with Arcia.
Yeah,
and then they go to Philly. And the Philly crowd and the team.
And that crowd is electric. Yeah.
No joke. So, obviously, the Phillies end up slapping the Braves. Good job, Braves. You had a great season. Won 100-plus games.
Mm-hmm.
You're still,
I've been told we're going to talk about that later.
Still the little bro.
Okay.
I mean, you're kind of the big bro, but like an insecure big bro.
Yeah.
Because the little bro keeps beating you up in fights. And that's the
when
Phillies.
It matters.
Exactly.
When it matters.
Yeah. So, and that's 2 years in a row now the Phillies have whooped up on the Braves in October. Yeah.
Yeah, not much to say there.
Side note, too, because I'm bringing out a lot of side notes. I mean, this series was just so crazy. There's like crackhead energy in this series. Seriously. And one of that stuff is Arcia.
It's these baby blue uniforms that they've got. That's what's bringing out this energy.
Are you a fan of the baby blues?
I like it, actually, yeah.
I think it's like unique to baseball, and it looks great.
I'm not always into teams bring out like the weird eccentric colors. Yeah. I'm not always into it, but the baby blue works.
Well, I want to show you this. This is a video, and I'll play it on mute too. But we know those Philly crowds get crazy, and
so were they not happy with Arcia?
Obviously not. So his first at bat, they were chanting "Attaboy, Attaboy."
Oh wow!
And I don't think he had a good. He didn't have a memorable series. Like I don't remember anything that he's done.
Well, you remember what he said,
other than the comments. Which, if you're the Braves, you got to be like, "Damn, this turned out to be a distraction for us, right?" And also, you might have fueled a fire under. Like you just beat the Phillies, stole a game from them. You make those comments, you might have fueled a fire under that team to want to kick your ass.
Yeah.
So maybe don't do that next year if you play him again.
Well, and I wonder maybe that's why he walked back his comments. Maybe someone over there gave him like a little spanking and was like, dude, what are you doing?
I don't think he walked him back, just like he wasn't supposed to hear him. But they did.
That's walking him back.
And you are the PR person, so you should know.
To me, being like you weren't supposed to hear it is like kind of it's half-assed.
I didn't mean it.
It's right. It's half-assed in both ways. Yeah. Like, oh, well, you weren't supposed to hear it. Like, well, bitch, you said it.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
I don't heard it. So
yeah, exactly. It's out there now.
Yeah. So
anyway,
obviously Philly, city of brotherly love. The fans are probably ripping into Arcia, and I'll show you this video. It's him yelling at the fan like, "Cállate, cállate."
He's such a baby.
I don't know if he's joking with the fan here or if he's actually mad. I think he started joking, but then he got mad, or he was actually mad. Then went joking, and that's Acuna there trying to tell him like, "Hey, stop, man! Like, stop." And
I don't know. This is hard. At first,
use your psychology skills to kind of.
I don't have any. No, I don't do that.
Yeah, it's just like a odd situation there with Arcia.
Well, he was like smiling,
and then he does a little.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. This guy is all over. This guy is all over the place for me.
I feel bad for Acuna though, because it's kind of like, dude, like let's play the game, man.
It's also tough. I mean, I've never been chanted at by an entire like stadium, let alone one in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But I cannot imagine that's easy. I'm sure that's
dealing
tough.
with all those hecklers.
Yeah, and especially like you make a comment, whether it was supposed to be heard or not, it's whatever. It's out there now. And now you got to deal with hecklers, man. That's got to suck. So I feel for him in that regard. Like that must be a lot to handle.
So I've dealt with heckling in college. Okay. And it wasn't nowhere near the environment of a Philadelphia Phillies playoff game.
There's nothing like that.
But I would play left field, and there'd be dudes chirping at me and stuff like saying like, "Oh, like how fast can you go from the dugout to left field, like, oh, we're gonna time you, and like just like little stuff like that. Oh, like your back pocket's out, like saying like dumb college terms.
Just yeah.
And I don't know, the way I get them on my side is like kind of play into it, like, oh, how fast are you gonna go from the dugout to left field? And I tell them like, I don't know, time me next inning, I'll sprint out here, and then I do it, and they just like that, they feed off the interaction. I don't think Philly is like that, though.
I was going to say, like, I don't think you can get Philly on your side.
I was small D2 college.
I think that's, and again, look, I'm not even going to say that I would be able to do it because I don't think I would. But you just got to be able to just, like, I guess, tune that out somehow. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because that's got to be tough. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel bad for him in that regard because that must suck.
I don't know what they said. Too.
Right.
They could have said something absolute. Like, you
probably
probably
could have said something out of pocket.
You probably do always block it off, but then there's probably one. I mean, everyone has a breaking point, right? And probably what Arcia is going through with the comments. And all
when you show up and like the entire stadium's chanting the thing that you said, that's tough.
If you're Philly, that's awesome.
My initial reaction was to laugh, but actually my heart kind of goes out for him because I feel, tough call, man.
Just deal with it.
Well, you're out of it now. Go golf. Come back, take a break, come back next season.
Golf.
Yeah, well,
he's gonna go to. I don't know where, if he's Dominican or what, but he's probably gonna go.
He's going back home. Go wherever you need to go. Chill out. Come back next season and win. That's all you can do.
Yeah. So Phillies slapped the shit out of the Braves. Again, Braves, congratulations. Moving on to the Diamondbacks Dodgers, another butt whooping. I'm begging for one of these series to have like a little bit of back and forth.
This one I was kind of surprised about. I thought there was going to be more back and forth on this one.
Well, I think everyone and their mother thought
True.
that.
Not a hot take.
No.
Cold, cold take.
Yeah, and no, I'm going to be honest, the only people who probably had the Diamondbacks whooping up on the Dodgers like this were the Diamondbacks. They were they won 84 wins. The Dodgers won, I want to say, high 90s or a hundo.
Here we are, yeah. I mean, that's
I think they won 100.
Story of the evening.
And yeah, and we're gonna get
into that. Stay tuned.
Diamondbacks, man, 84 wins. They're kind of like no one was.
That's like Twins territory.
Twins were
88.
88.
Yeah.
Diamondbacks were lower, but they were also a wild card. I was mad at the Twins because they hosted a division.
Oh, true, fair.
Diamondbacks have been on the road up until the final game that we haven't covered because remember they were up 2-0 in Dodgers. So they finally come home to Arizona, Phoenix, and I just remember a lot of the comments that Arizona was making after the game that they beat the Dodgers by 4-2. Was like, oh, no one counted on us to win. No one thought we were going to be here. It's like, yeah, why the hell would we? You won 84 games. You guys were. I mean,
but there's always I do always love that it seems in every single sport that at least the ones I follow, there's always one team that's got some sort of like everyone's against us mental thing going on, and I guess they needed to. Yeah, no one thought you would get maybe this far, but I don't think anyone was maybe necessarily counting them out completely. I think everyone respects the Diamondbacks, and some no one's well, they're awful. They're exactly.
They were good. They actually were in first place for quite a while.
Yeah.
Mid-season, I think they had a little slump where they started losing a bunch of games, but then they got hot towards the end of the year again. So, I mean, and they're hot right now, and that shows because they just swept the Dodgers.
But if you were going to ask me, the three worst teams in the MLB that would never make it to the World Series, I'm not putting the Diamondbacks on that list.
What is that list, out of curiosity?
Oh.
I know what mine is. Oakland A's, Kansas City Royals, and the Washington Nationals. No shot, you guys make it. No shot.
Well,
the Royals are on the come up though.
I started laughing because the Royals.
You're gonna put Rays. They were just catching shade.
No, because they're not very good.
But then you just know they won't win. Sure, whatever.
Anyway.
Well, Diamondbacks in Game 3 when they beat the Dodgers 4-2, they scored all 4 runs in one inning, and it was all solo home runs.
Oh.
And apparently they're the first ever team to hit 4 home runs in one inning in the playoffs.
Okay.
So Perdomo, Ketel Marte, rate that name, Ketel Marte, baseball name.
Ketel Marte. That is a 8.5 out of 10 baseball name.
Too.
Yeah,
That's pretty good. Christian Walker and Gabriel Moreno hit 4 bombs in one inning. Moreno was fire because it was the last
so by that point you're losing your mind.
And they weren't back to back, but they were
they're in the same inning.
He hit one foul down the line, but everyone thought it was fair. Ended up being foul.
Okay.
Very next pitch, hits one dead center, like left
wow,
center
that's
field.
cool.
So it's like, yeah, buddy. It's like, oh, bummer.
This one's in.
Bummer, that would have been cool. We would have had 4 bombs. Next pitch. Oh, we do have 4 bombs.
You know they were losing
Arizona
their minds.
was going crazy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all in all, like, didn't expect this series to go this way. It kind of brings the question, though, that the Diamondbacks just swept the Dodgers. Are the Dodgers kind of like fading from being the NL West Kings because they always win a division? They always make it to the NLCS playoffs.
Well, they're kind of
DS.
like an older team at this point, right? Like, I feel like
They've
had
lost a lot of stars. They're young. They got some young dogs in there, but they've lost a lot of their, like, they used to be an all-star team,
Mhm.
and they've lost a lot of their, I guess, studs.
Right.
But they still
So-
got studs, though.
Yeah,
They need pitching.
I mean,
they need pitching.
I think I look again when we look at teams I don't expect anything. Like the Dodgers aren't even close. Like I'm not worried about the Dodgers. They're gonna be just fine.
Yeah. But, I mean, there's some dogs coming up in that West, and I wanted to pull this up. This is the Dodgers' recent postseason history, and it goes all the way back to 2013. So they've been a staple in October.
Sure.
But, I mean, similar to Kershaw, like we talked about last time, he just doesn't get it going in the playoffs.
hmm
The only time they really came away with a ring was in 2020, and that was when there was a short season. And, I mean, I still think it's a valid ring. People say Mickey Mouse. I think that's just because your team lost. That they call it a Mickey Mouse ring. Like, it doesn't
Oh.
really count. Half season doesn't count. I think that's BS. They won a ring. They played the fucking tournament.
Well, you would say that because who did they play?
Don't worry about that.
Who did they
so
play?
what? They played the Rays. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
So that's why you would say it's not a Mickey Mouse ring because if the Rays had won, it would have been a real ring to you.
But we didn't, and
But they
I could
did
be
not.
salty. I could be salty and
That's
be like,
true.
"Oh, it's a Mickey Mouse. That wasn't
That's true.
important."
I'll give you that.
Yeah,
That's true.
but here's that's their history. It's like
Hey, that's a tough season, regardless of it being a half season, because
It's COVID
it's a
restrictions
COVID
and-
season. That's
but no
a lot of.
fans. Like imagine playing Philly
That's
right
what
now
I'm
with no fans. That is kind of a little Mickey Mouse.
It's easier, but also
It's still
you don't
baseball.
have fans. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's just tough. I think it's worse without fans, regardless.
It's a worse product, that's for sure. But I mean, that's their history. Like last 5 years, it goes all the way back to 2013. And look at that, lost in the division, won the World Series. Asterisk with the COVID year. Lost in a championship series, lost in a division, lost in a division. It's like, yeah, you can win all these games, but they're kind of like a paper tiger, just not really getting it done in October.
I mean, here's the thing, and I know this is going to be a shock to everyone, but only one team can win, and so
You didn't say this is a great take, and I agree with it. But this was not what you sounded like a few episodes ago
What do
when
you
you were
mean?
like, "The Rays are chokers; they never win." It's
Well,
like, why the
hold-
switch
hold-
up for LA?
Hold on, I'm going to tell you.
Okay,
And here's why: because they have a ring, and the Rays do not. But regardless,
in the playoffs for 11 years in a row,
what I'm going to say
one
is
ring,
that
one ring.
right, but there can only be one winner. There's going to be a lot of teams that make it very far often and cannot win. I think, yeah, my shade with the Rays is that you can't make it this far all the time consistently and never come out. Like even the Dodgers come out with one. You know what I'm saying? That's my, when you bring up the Rays argument, that's my response. It's like,
Fine.
right. And so like all these teams are going to have some collection. I mean, even the Astros don't win every single year.
They won 2017 and they won 2021.
Right. But there's still years in between.
But I mean, 11 in a row, you'd expect maybe like another one,
That's true. That's fair.
maybe 2.
That's fair.
Especially with the amount of stars they had on their team.
Yeah.
I
mean, I think this is going to, I don't think the Rays are an isolated incident. I just
maybe
think they're the
Rays
most
might get
glaring.
one. The Rays still might get one. I mean,
Yeah, the future
never know.
is open.
that's how it works.
We don't know how, until Jesus comes, we're going to keep playing baseball. So who knows?
And again, Dodgers,
Will we see it?
figure it out.
Don't know.
Yeah, figure it out. I mean, they have a ring, so it's like figure it out. You already have a ring.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming from a Rays fan who doesn't have one. But wanted to show you this too. Obviously, the Diamondbacks sweep the Dodgers. They have a pool out in Arizona, and
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, it's in their stadium. It's pretty
That's cool,
sweet.
that's cool.
It's out in right center field. You see a lot of home runs and people just chilling in the pool, and it
Huh.
just lands in the pool.
Okay.
This was the Diamondbacks kind of celebrating jumping into the pool here.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. See all the guys running out to to the outfield, throwing their stuff in the air. And I mean, this is straight after the celebration. Bam!
Did they clear the pool?
I would imagine so.
I have to believe they
Yeah.
did because that's a very small pool. I expected it to be a little larger.
Well, I guess you're right. Now I'm thinking about how big that
More of a
stadium is.
jacuzzi
Damn.
situation.
Diamondbacks, bigger pool.
Yeah,
pool.
we've got. I mean, that's about the size of the race tank.
Look at this.
Oh, Hey, don't look. It's sacred.
No,
Oh, wait.
it's not
Oh,
the
wait, they're not
clubhouse.
the
It's not
clubhouse.
sacred. It's not the clubhouse.
I got confused because it looks exactly like what every clubhouse I've seen.
Yeah, no, literally. If a clubhouse had a pool, actually, they are the clubhouse wherever they go.
That's true.
So they're
Fair
sacred
enough.
no matter what. Let's get your predictions though. We're gonna have Diamondbacks and Phillies. What are your predictions? I guess for that series.
Yeah, I think so far. I think I had the Braves,
Yeah.
but I think I wanted the Diamondbacks. I know I wanted them. I think I had, or maybe it was the other way around.
You had the Diamondbacks. I think that was your spicy pick.
Okay.
And again, all her picks have actually came true. Maybe.
A lot of them.
I don't
have.
remember what you said. Phillies and Braves. You might have said Braves, but you might have.
I might have said Braves, or I might have
For the
said
sake
Dodgers.
of
I'm not which.
Us, we'll say she said Phillies.
Right. Okay.
All
But
my picks have been wrong.
yeah, but my picks are actually doing decent. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow my heart because that seems to not be leading me astray.
Yeah.
Unlike in my love life. I would say, see, I want Diamondbacks. I want Diamondbacks in the World Series.
That's your heart.
And I'm calling it right now because I want a ring for Longo.
I do too. That would be
I
awesome.
do. And so I think it's possible. I think the road is there. I think it's available. I think he's a great player, and I would like to see him be one of the guys with the ring. So fuck it, yeah, Diamondbacks.
Okay, that's her pick.
So I said, and so it shall be.
And let me get into mine.
Okay.
So you have Philadelphia Phillies and Diamondbacks. Red October out in the Northeast.
Oh yeah.
Philadelphia getting chilly in Red October. You got the Diamondbacks going up there for the first 2 games. Did you see how many games the Diamondbacks are winning in?
No. 4.
The Diamondbacks, the 84-win team. They're going to sweep the Phillies? The Diamondbacks
4?
are winning in 4 games? Best 4 out of 7? It's 4 out of 7.
That's right.
So 5? You had it 3-1.
Yeah.
So,
So
what, 5 or
5.
6? 7? I was going to say
5.
that's a sweep.
5.
5? Okay. Well, the 84-win Diamondbacks are going up to
Honestly,
Philly.
though, where are they playing? Sorry,
I'm
where?
trying to hit my
I know.
WWE promo, and she's
where
like,
are they-
"Oh, wait a minute, well."
Well, it's better for you to do it in camera anyway.
I know.
But where are they playing first?
Look. So I have it here. Arizona.
Oh, they're
at
playing in Philly?
So it goes 2-3-2. 2 in Philly, 3 in Arizona,
And then 2 back in Philly.
Yep.
Okay, then actually, yeah, because I think it's going to be 5. Because I think they'll lose one of these, but they'll win one of these, and they might sweep at home.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Yeah, that's very cool. So the 84-win Diamondbacks are going up
It's the
to
hunt for
Philly.
Red October.
Red October up in Philadelphia. You got a crowd that loves the team. You got a team that loves the crowd.
In both places.
But more so in Philly.
So
It is
fair.
actually unreal how much they like each other.
Yeah,
weird.
it's true.
So you got the 84-win Diamondbacks going up there. The Diamondbacks, who everyone counted them out.
Right.
They were really hot, leading their
They've got
division.
that propaganda over there in that clubhouse.
Then they sucked for half the year.
Yeah.
Half the year, totally terrible. The Diamondback fans were saying, we thought this was the year. I guess we have to wait. And then, Uno reverse card. They're back. End of the year. The Diamondbacks are coming back. They're hot. End of the year. Okay, yeah. Either way.
Where are we going?
Yeah,
Is it
no.
another Uno reverse, or are they going to win?
No,
Tell
it's just,
me.
look. Will Castellanos, Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, the crowd, they're all hot in Philly. The Diamondbacks, underdogs in every series they've been in, and they have been. No one's thought they're going to win. The Braves couldn't beat the Phillies.
The Phillies couldn't beat the Phillies.
Phillies couldn't beat the Phillies. Are the Diamondbacks the team that shouldn't beat the Phillies that are going to do it?
That's why I think they will.
No, Phillies in 5.
Okay, well, Phillies in 5.
Phillies in 5.
So what, you think they take the first 2 at home?
They're going to take the first 2 at home, and then they're
They'll
going to
lose
lose
one in Arizona.
Look, game 1, Phillies. Game 2, Phillies. Game 3, first game in Arizona. Phillies, 3-0. Diamondbacks scratch 1 across for moral, what code? I don't know.
Morale.
For
Morale.
morale. Sure. Game 5, Philly wins.
See, yeah, that's why I think Arizona wins the first one at Philly. Phillies take the second one because now they're pissed. They go to Arizona. They lose in Arizona. Without the electricity of their fans, they're going to be in AZ.
That's true. They play
better in Philly, which is fair.
they've
They've only played a few games in Philly.
They've
anyway.
only played 2 road games this playoffs, and they've won one of them. and then they blew the second one in Atlanta. So is that something we're going to see? Like when they get to – if Arizona can scratch one game off.
I think if Arizona comes out hot in Philly the first game, they can sneak by because Philly is probably going to not be expecting a hot Arizona.
They're riding
but
high
it
right
is
now.
well, no, it's fall.
Philly.
I was going to say
Both of them are,
I wanted to say it was like summer in Arizona, but it's not. It's fall there too. But if they come out hot the first game, take the Phillies. The Phillies will probably take the second game because they're at home and they've got something to prove. They go to AZ though, and then who knows? They might end up. They maybe the magic's off because they're not at home.
Yeah,
and then
they're too far from Philly.
And
then,
and they
Atlanta's
can't
East
energize.
Coast. Yeah.
And then now next thing, and Diamondbacks.
Also, it could be a scenario where you were playing the Braves, so it's easy to get up for the Braves, and obviously it's going to be easy to get up.
Same time zone too. Now you got to go all the way out there.
Yeah, but both teams travel.
That's true. Yeah.
But I was going to say this take, and it's probably a crap take, but easy to get up for the Braves because it's the Braves. It's your rival in your division.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're playing the Diamondbacks. It's kind of like ho-hum. They're 84 wins.
Well, that's why I think that Arizona can take the first game because I don't know that anyone's going to be expect. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what happens a lot is that these teams sleep on the teams that they don't expect to come back.
Phillies beat the Diamondbacks 2 games in Arizona. Do you think that Arizona can lose the first 2 games and still win the series?
No.
They got to scratch at least one.
I think if they want to. Yeah, no, I don't think if they lose both because then they got to come back and they'll be at a deficit, and so if they lose the first 2 in Philly,
you're down 0-2.
I don't see them
3 games at home,
but I don't see them winning all 3 at home. So they're going to be coming back to Philly down
3-2, if they get back to Philly.
Right, if they make it back to Philly, they'll be down 3-2.
And you got to win 2 in a row in Philly,
and there's just no way.
Yeah.
So they gotta scrap one in Philly,
yeah.
And then they actually, I think, if they do that, then they will win.
I'd agree with that, and I don't think that they will. That's why I said I got Phillies in 5. Did I say 5? I just said 5.
You said 5. I said 5. Yeah.
Yep. Different teams, so we'll see. I might have just put the kiss of death on the Phillies.
You might have.
Phillies fans, if I did, I'm sorry, because I enjoy watching them. But if I did too, who cares? Longoria keeps going and gets to play in a World Series, so it's a win-win for me.
Yeah.
Phillies or Longoria in the World Series.
I have no bad blood against the Phillies.
But you're going with your heart.
But I'm going with my heart.
And that is Evan Longoria. Again, wanted to mention this. So Lisa's actually going to be going to Paris in a couple weeks. So I had asked Brett, who's probably going to be substituting.
Oh, Brett? Okay, cool.
I asked my boy Brett, who's a Czech Republic baseball legend. That's true, by the way. He asked him for his predictions. He said Phillies in 5. So he agrees with me. And I promise I didn't just steal your pick, Brett, if you're watching.
Okay. Brett, it's going to be weird when I prove myself to be the superior co-host.
It's going to be unreal when all of Lisa's picks actually go correctly and the baseball players' picks goes not correct.
That's why it might happen.
Yeah.
That's how that works. Is it time to head over to – we did the National League.
Yeah.
So now –
we got to hop over to the Wild Wild West, the Texas
– to the Wild Wild West?
The Texas High Noon Standoff?
Yeehaw! It's time for a Texas standoff.
Yeah.
But did we not say I'm so excited for this?
We didn't say it.
No, you're right. I said it.
You said it.
It was me, and I'm here with Bartholomew.
That's your horse's
and
name?
we're riding into Texas for the amazing Texas standoff.
Yep.
That we're about to get.
So we'll hop over to the American League. We're going to talk about Rangers. Wow. I don't know if the mics are picking that up, but Bartholomew is galloping. Twice? How much did this cost you? How much did you pay for this?
It was $5 at Walmart.
What?
I went to
I gotta get me one.
I went to a space rodeo party. And I dressed like an astronaut, but of course every astronaut needs her steed.
Her steed. So let's hop into Rangers Orioles.
Oh my God! What a time to be alive. We get the Texas standoff. I'm very excited. So the Texas Rangers
beat the Orioles, and the Astros beat the Twins.
Take me into the highlights.
Houston versus
Let me
Dallas.
relive this.
Okay, well, Rangers, Orioles. God, not gonna say boring series. It wasn't boring, but it's just a lot of these series have not been close. There's been no game 5.
I mean, the most drama. I think you mentioned this. Most drama was Arcia.
Yeah, that's it. And that was awesome.
Right.
But when it comes to Rangers Orioles, and we've talked about RCA, but when it comes to Rangers Orioles, dude, man, the Rangers ran away with that one. Like, you were going into that thing in two good offenses. Rangers just dominated.
They have an appointment at high noon that they had to get to.
With the Astros.
They didn't have a lot of time.
The series really didn't feel close. I mean, the Astros won all 3 games. The only one that was close was Game 2, and that was a blowout, 10-2 for the longest, and the Orioles almost chipped away and got back in it, but they didn't. So, like, the series was just trash, unforgettable. I mean, it was fun for a Rangers fan, for the Creed Rangers, the hashtag Creed Rangers.
Tipping my hat to you.
Yeah, and for the Orioles fans, it was not fun, and that's kind of became a theme with, AL East teams. They're just not, like, the AL East has gone 0-7 for the playoffs.
Right, and it's the beast of the East until it's not.
I guess.
I guess you give it water after midnight, and then suddenly.
And this Rangers offense is really hot.
Yeah.
Nate Eovaldi, starting pitcher for the Rangers, is really hot right now. And they went through arguably the 2 best teams in the American League, the Rays with 99 wins and the Orioles with 100+ wins.
Right.
And now they're looking, you went through the Rays, you went through the Orioles. Now you're looking straight down the barrel of the Houston Astros, who is, as we've talked about, the October machine. They're always in the ALCS. The Astros it's their 7th year in a row in the ALCS. So just kind of like unreal. I really don't know what to say about the Rangers Orioles series other than the Rangers just dominated and the Orioles didn't even show up, just like the rest of the AL East teams. So I don't know what you got. I don't think you've watched the game on that series, but I know you're really excited. I'm looking at you right now with your getup, and you look really excited for the hockey standoff as you're petting your horse.
It's the only thing I can think of. No, I mean, I don't really have anything to add. I mean, I said this before when I picked the Rangers and I picked the Astros for this Texas standoff. Like, I wish I wanted more for the Orioles. I mean,
fun team to watch.
Yeah, being someone who's watched the AL East, all the teams I've supported have been in the AL East. I mean, obviously, like, you want to see the Orioles do a little bit better. I mean, goddamn. But that's one of those teams that I might put maybe at the bottom. But yeah, I mean, there's not much to say.
They're gonna be good.
They are. It's just not this year, and we've got the Rangers, and like you said, there's not much to say about the games either.
One really cool thing is that the Creed Rangers are the Creed Rangers.
Is that what they're being called,
That's
or is that what you're called? Okay,
they're the Creed Rangers.
Okay, the Creed Rangers.
Yeah, because obviously they have Creed on their side.
Uh-huh.
So is there ever a doubt with Creed on your side?
Yeah, I think you've got tons of doubts.
Really?
Yeah, I think you have doubts.
Especially going into Houston, going into that series.
Do you want to talk about Houston, or do we want to talk about?
Not yet. What I want to show you is this video about the Creed Rangers, because I'm all in on the Creed Rangers. I just love that randomly Creed has become such a big part of our culture now. I'm starting to get TikToks of Creed. I don't know if that's just because I'm like a big Creed Rangers guy and it's filtering
Probably.
for me.
I think it's a very like sports guyer thing.
To like Creed?
No, to like pick some random shit and then all of a sudden it's the entire team's identity and you're like, since when did you guys all become like fans of Nickelback? And it's like, oh well, we listened to it.
Been.
Yeah, and it's like,
no,
wait,
bro.
what? No, you were not.
Literally just a month ago.
Yeah, this is like some big major baseball guyer energy. But hey, you know what? That's why we love you guys.
So remember they were like, oh, we want to play Creed. Like the players were like, if we play Creed in the stadium, it would get us going. This is what they did. And it was a sing-along with the fans. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this without getting copyrighted, but maybe if we talk over it.
We don't need to, just don't play the sound. Everyone knows how the song goes.
I'll sing it. Take me higher to a place where blind men see.
Is that the word?
Something like that. It goes something like that. But you get the gist. The entire crowd is doing karaoke at Creed. What is going on in baseball? It feels like this is like someone just put 2023 baseball season in an algorithm, and this is what it spit out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, actually a little bit. But you know what? Baseball needs to have a little bit more weird shit going on.
Yeah. No, and this is
because you know why? Because you guys are weird as shit.
Yeah, well,
you are.
I'm not weird.
The baseball guys are a weird bunch, and we love you for that. And I want to see more personality.
Everyone's weird.
I'm glad to. Everyone,
That's why they like.
but y'all are weird in your own special way.
No,
and
baseballs are weird.
And we want to see it, and that's why me and Bartholomew are riding for you.
Yeah. Well, let's go from
one-sided Texas to the other.
and we're going from Dallas Fort Worth over to Houston. The weather, isn't it wetter, more humid side of Texas?
They're seaside.
They remember, so we left off in that series. Carlos Correa was a dog in Houston. He said, "This is still my house. I might be wearing a different."
And they were like,
"Still my house." Yeah, they go to Minnesota. They're like, "Hey, buddy,
this is our house too, actually."
yeah. They're like, this is our house now.
Yeah.
You know? So they evicted the Minnesota Twins from that stadium. They went up there and punched them in the mouth 2 games in a row. Again, 2 games. I was really excited for this series. I was like, oh, it might be a close series. Like the Twins beat them. Correa looks really hot. It's a great storyline. Correa versus his old team.
And another team where you've got like you've got 100+ team.
Yeah.
And an 80-something
Well,
team.
no. Twins aren't 100+. Or
Oh,
Astros.
are they not?
Astros aren't 100+. They've only won 90. 90.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought they were like 90
I
something.
believe it's 90.
Okay.
But no, it's like one of those things where you're right. Like not 100, but like Astros are always in October.
Right.
Twins are caca.
Yeah. Here we are. Well,
maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
But the Astros won.
But the Astros won.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess that we can talk about this too. That's what brings up a topic about people were complaining about. Oh well, it's not right that the best teams get a bye because then it's like rust versus rest, right?
Right.
Like, oh, I'm resting, and I'm gonna be better. No, I'm taking too much time off. Now when I come back, I'm gonna be rusty.
team's
These other
hot,
teams,
yeah.
I think that's BS though. I think it's all just BS and excuses. Like, dude, your team got a bye. How is it a disadvantage to be able to set your pitching up and have your ace go game 1 compared to the other teams you're facing their number 3 or 4 starter?
Look.
Or number 3 starter. Like, that's not an advantage.
What it is, this is when, honestly, the numbers don't matter. Like, this is the point where it doesn't matter if you had a bye. It doesn't matter if you played. It doesn't matter if you had 100 wins. It doesn't matter if you only had 80. Like, at the end of the day, you got here and you just need to win the games. And I don't think we can look at any science or any statistic that's going to show us that one helps one team more than the other.
Baseball's tough because it'll say, like, well, and this part is true, is if you take time off from a game, your timing gets disrupted as a hitter.
Okay.
Because, like, you play every day, your timing's on.
Right.
You take, like, an extended period of time off, your timing isn't going to be the same.
Okay.
Like, you can take simulated at-bats against pitchers, but it's just not the same as a game.
Right.
That's a valid point. But I mean, there's been other instances, like they're mad at the playoff format, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's been other instances before the format was like this where teams had extended periods of time where they swept the series, had to wait 5 or 6 days for the other series to finish, and then they'd play the next series and they'd win. They weren't complaining about, that's just how it was. Like you got, and a lot of Braves players, because it happened to the Braves too, where the Braves fans were saying this, and a lot of Braves players like Spencer Strider and the manager and Darno were saying like, look, we just have to win. Like it's not
and that's what I'm saying.
Our fault.
It's like you can't. It's just as unfortunate because you want to. I think, especially too as a fan, you want to be able to say like, "Oh, it's because this," or if the format. And yeah, it sucks, but like at the end of the day, you just got to go and you got to win the game. Like and as much as
that's what the Braves players were saying too.
And as much as you have a strategy when you have a bye, like when you have an extended break, you have a strategy on how you're going to get through that and how you're going to come into the next game and you're going to win that game. The team that's playing also has a strategy about how they're going to play those games and then, play through your rest and not have one. So it just kind of, you have to be prepared for either, and you got to go into the game, whatever game you're playing, and win.
I really see it as a fan base. Fan base is mad that they're like, this was every good team seems like in the playoff, good team record wise, got bounced early, and it's just kind of like, dude, like.
Yeah, I'm hearing that a lot too. I'm seeing that.
Gotta win. Like it's like you gotta win. I don't blame the format. I blame the team because you didn't hit, you didn't pitch, like.
Well, this is
the Orioles walked 11 dudes one game and lost. Like that's not time. That's not time off.
Right.
That's just you not pitching.
And look, baseball's it's a marathon, not a sprint. And you can be you can have slumps. Like the Diamondbacks we were talking about had a slump kind of in the middle of the year.
Yeah.
And now they're coming back and they might be hot. And
Some of
who
these teams
knows?
are cold. Like the Dodgers were just their pitching went
Sometime-
cold. Their pitching
right.
went cold, and they just didn't have the guy.
Again, marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter how you start the race. It matters where you end it.
Mm-hmm. So, Astros beating the Twins 2 games. Jose Abreu for the Astros. Shout out to him. You probably don't know who Jose Abreu is, but you should.
Yeah, I know who he is.
First baseman for the Astros.
Mhm.
He is like, did you forget about that guy? Because he used to be on the White Sox, and he was like a big name there.
Yeah.
And he kind of went to the Astros.
I feel like I did forget about him, but I know his name.
Yeah, well, you should, because we've referenced this all the time. The guy who hit the home run at guaranteed rate field for the White Sox,
Was that him?
it was Jose Abreu.
Shut up.
I swear to God. And I'm not doing that, like, just to say it.
That's so
it really
funny.
was him. And if you want to look at that and research it, I think the score was like 18-1.
It was stupid.
last summer.
It was
in
like
May,
no, I think the ending was like 21-1.
something like that. Red Sox, White Sox. Look it up. Jose Abreu. You hit that
Yeah,
home
we
run.
left before the game was over.
But he hit a home run when we watched him. He hit 3 home runs in 2 games, went 4 for 9 in those 2 games in Minnesota, scored 3 runs himself, and hit 7 RBIs.
Fuck.
It was literally like Jose Abreu beat the Twins instead of the Astros beating the Twins. So shout out to Jose Abreu
Good
for
for him.
carrying your team there.
And thanks for the fireworks that one day in May a couple years ago. I appreciated it.
Another big at-bat in this series, though. And I want to hit on this because there's been a lot of big at-bats. Like Harper coming up with men on after Arcia says those comments, and he delivers and hits 2 bombs in that game, you know?
Mhm.
He delivers. It's hard to do that in baseball. That's why it's so exciting when someone does it.
Yes.
Another situation with Acuna going up with runners on base. He doesn't deliver. He almost did. He hit a ball in the gap, and it was really good. But the guy made a great catch, goes in as an out. Didn't deliver. Another situation in this series, Byron Buxton gets up. There's nobody on. He was pinch hitting. Byron Buxton is the Minnesota Twins franchise guy.
Mhm.
He's been battling injuries his entire career, but when he's healthy, he's an MVP caliber player. So he pinch hits. The crowd's going crazy in Minnesota. They're like, "This is it." I think they were down 1 run in the 8th inning. This is our guys, like storybook, right? This is storybook stuff, which you always see in baseball. So like you would just assume he hits a home run because that's how the storybook ends. No. Like it's reality versus a storybook.
Yeah.
And that's why I think baseball is so cool because you get those setups, right? It's a setup all the time. And majority of the time, it doesn't happen. Like, guy strikes out. Buxton just got jammed to hit a weak fly ball. So when you get a story set up, too, with Harper and the guy delivers on it, it's just, like, even that more special. It's like, yeah. And everyone goes crazy. I don't know if, like, I'm fanboying right now about baseball.
A little bit.
A little Swifty action on baseball.
A little bit, but it's all right.
All right,
You're in your
whatever.
right.
Before we get into predictions, also want to shout out Ryan Presley, the closer for the Houston Astros. He's 13 for 13 in the postseason with save opportunities.
Wow.
So he might be the white Mariano Rivera.
Okay, good for him.
He needs a couple more World Series rings, I think, because Mariano's might be beating him in that category.
I'm pretty sure he is.
But since he took the role in 2020, yeah, he's just been dominant back there. So keep that in mind as we get into the predictions here for the Texas High Noon Standoff, brought to you by Lone Depot, sponsored by Taco Loco.
By
Taco.
Stealing Home. Brought to you by Stealing Home.
We're not bringing
The
we're not
Texas
paying for this. We don't have the funds for this.
Hey, but we predicted it.
You predicted it.
I did.
So go ahead, give me your prediction for this standoff here.
Like I said, I went a little bit with my heart last time, mostly with my heart last time, and I'm gonna go with my heart again. Yeah, I don't want to see the Astros. I do not want to see the Astros win. I'm sorry to the Astros.
They've been too much of them?
I'm over it. I don't want to see you on my screens anymore. I don't want to talk about you anymore. I think I'm like low key starting to not say them. Like I feel like I've said other teams' names just to not say Houston Astros.
They're just again, their 7th time in a row now in the championship series.
I'm
for
over
American League.
So I'm gonna go. I mean, I'm rooting for the Rangers here, hardcore. Like me and Bart are riding for the Rangers. We're very excited. I think if the
Me and Bart.
the horse.
yeah, I know.
I think it might go.
So again, Houston has the advantage. They had the tiebreaker,
right,
and so they get the 4 home games compared to 3, and then again 2-3-2 format. So what are we thinking here?
That's what I'm
game-wise?
looking at.
And you are going Rangers. You know
I'm
that.
going Rangers. I know that.
A lot of 8 p.m. time slots. Obviously, American League Championship Series. Sometimes the games are staggered, so Good to see that.
Rangers in 6.
Okay.
I think Houston will win a couple for sure. Maybe the first 2 at home, and then maybe the Rangers sweep the other 4. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I can see 6. I can see this one going the long haul.
What would you want as a fan here? Would you want like a pitcher's duel series where not a lot of runs scored? I mean, these are 2 great offenses. The starting pitching for Houston, I think, is a little bit better than the Rangers, but the Rangers are getting Max Scherzer back.
So I think this is a good.
Who's a Hall of Fame
pitcher. This is a perfect series. We're talking about a standoff. It's a perfect series for a pitching contest, basically. Like, let's put our pitchers against each other. Let's see who.
I think the Astros win that battle for sure.
Well, maybe the first games they do.
Yeah.
And then and actually, I think if we're talking storybook, that's great. Let Houston win the first 2 games. Everyone thinks
it's a wrap.
It's in the bag. Like, Houston, oh my God, we're so upset. Houston's going to be here again.
Houston fans won't be upset.
Right. But the rest of baseball.
Yeah.
And then Rangers come in, and they just go, whoop, and then they
steal it
back.
Rug?
They steal it back.
Okay. Well, for this series, I got, obviously, I'll just give the setup because I don't want to ruin anyone's time with me just giving my pick right off.
Oh, yeah. Why would you be concise?
It's the outlaws, the cheaters, the bad guys, the worst people in the state of baseball right now, the Houston Astros, in their 7th time back in the American League Championship Series. The bad guy always wins so far. They're always in the championship series. They're going against the law, the Texas Rangers, the good guys, Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, playing against those cheater bank robbers, Altuve. And when I say bank robbers, I mean trash can beaters and World Series stealers. The Jose Altuve, Yordan Alvarez, Alex Bregman, Kyle Tucker with the Astros. Great lineup. You got pitching. Better on the Astros side, but Nate Eovaldi's been hot, and the Rangers are getting their old sheriff back, Max Scherzer. So who am I taking here? I don't know, because you really got 2 managers too. Dusty Baker with the Astros, who looks like the old man from Sandlot, who lives
9 out of 10.
Yeah, Dusty
Baseball
Baker.
name.
That is a great baseball name.
9 out of 10.
And you also have Bruce Bochy with the Rangers.
8 out of 10.
2 Hall of Fame managers. World Series last year won with Dusty. Bruce Bochy won them with Posey when he was with the Giants. So maybe low-key subconsciously that's why you picked.
Maybe this.
Being
Okay, this is making
FSU
more sense
Buster
now.
Posey
Yeah.
fan. Obviously, both high-power offenses. I don't know who to take here. I'm going with the Outlaws. Give me the Houston Astros.
This is good too, because I just noticed you're wearing a black hat,
one?
and I've got a white one.
All I needed was an eye patch and like a bag of money.
But I've got the horse.
Yeah.
So
But you can have Bart. I don't want Bart. Ugly ass horse.
what
Give me the Astros. Give me the Outlaws in 6 games. It's going to be a good series.
Wow, in 6.
In 6. It's going to be a good series. It's a Texas showdown, baby.
It is.
A standoff. I'm excited for this series. Probably a little bit more so than I am for the Phillies Diamondbacks. But give me the Astros. Give me them in 6 games. I want a Phillies and Astros rematch from last year, and I want to see that series play out with Red October versus the Cheaters. And I think this is it's going to happen. It's a lock.
Okay.
If you're a sports bettor, bet your house on it, because all my picks have not come true, but these will.
See, I want I
Bet your house.
I don't do that. I want the Rangers, obviously, and they're going to play the Diamondbacks in the World Series. Diamondbacks are going to win, but the Rangers are going to put up a good fight.
We're giving World Series predictions now too?
I mean, if we just picked
Okay, sure.
we just picked our 2, so.
Phillies, Astros. Phillies get revenge this time. Bryce Harper gets his ring finally.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a Longo ring finally. I mean,
I wouldn't be mad at
might
that.
be a long shot. I'm not going to lie. And the more I talk about
A Longo shot.
the more I talk about it, yeah, yeehaw. The more I talk about it, the worse it sounds as a prediction.
The more you say it, the less real
the less I
sounds.
believe it.
Yeah.
But it could happen. So that's what my story would be.
Perfect. And shout out to Brett. Brett has the Rangers winning in 7, so he's on your side for this one.
Hell yeah, Brett, let's go.
Couple other topics. Maybe we can just rip these quick. Who had the best clubhouse celebration? I sent you a TikTok or a tweet. I'm not sure if you watched it. But you saw the pool.
Yeah.
The pool videos with the Diamondbacks splashing water with each other.
Yeah.
You see the Phillies stuff I sent you?
I don't know that I saw the Philly stuff.
So the Philly stuff, it's literally, well, you know how they are with their crowd. They celebrate everything. They sing the song "Dancing by Myself."
I
or
did
Dance
watch
on My
that.
Own or something.
I did watch that. Yeah.
Dancing that's their thing. The Phillies, after they won the game, went to a bar where a bunch of fans were, and they were out there partying with.
Oh,
other
I didn't know
fans.
they were there too.
That was them up
so
in the balcony.
Phillies win. Yeah, the
because
Phillies win.
they're out at bars.
Yeah,
I think you have to go. With
that's
the Phillies.
badass. Yeah, I love that.
But like, you celebrating a little too much too soon. You're going to Diamondbacks.
Which is why I'm telling you.
Diamondbacks have not lost a game.
They're sleeping.
Yeah.
They're sleeping.
Watch out.
Watch out.
So we agree. Phillies.
Goliath,
the Phillies
watch
know how to
for
celebrate.
David.
Goliath, watch for David.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You talk about
Yeah.
sleeping giants.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That's the Phillies right
Phillies.
now. They're not going to be
They're
expecting.
They're the big name.
They're sleeping giant.
They're
Yeah.
the Goliath. They're not sleeping low key, not no more.
We don't know.
I guess you're right when you say sleep. Okay.
Yeah.
That went over right over my cow.
That's okay.
Another one. Bad Bunny name dropped a couple MLB players.
Okay.
Did you not know that?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, he name dropped a couple MLB players.
And what in his new song?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I know he dropped the Rosarena.
Oh yeah, that makes
and
sense.
He dropped Mike Trout, I think. He might have dropped Acuna.
Okay.
So obviously cool. A lot of Latin stars.
I mean,
MLB
I don't.
players.
Yeah, this is not a surprise. I mean, like, I don't. Is it a surprise to anyone that Hispanic people really like baseball? Is that?
No, I don't-
Are we?
no.
Did we not know that? Like,
I love baseball.
and especially like,
and I so happen to be Hispanic.
sí, yo también. But yeah,
Spicy,
no
caliente.
sabe kid over here. But
I am not a no sabe. Yo puedo hablar como nadie. Tú sabes.
Okay.
Tú sabes.
Uh-huh.
Pero qué.
Okay,
Dime-
now it's a
dime la pelota.
bilingual
Dime
show.
Dime la pelota. What am I saying?
Yeah, no, I mean, we know that Hispanics like baseball. And
This had me thinking, though, I wanted to say, so
then like with the
transitioning from Bad Bunny
yeah,
to, obviously
To music?
music
Yeah.
being involved with baseball
uh-huh.
and the Creed Rangers being a thing right now.
Okay.
I sent you a text, and honestly, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no answers because
I thought about it.
I asked her, hey, Creed Rangers, that's their music spirit animal. What are the other teams? So Phillies, Astros, and
Yeah,
Diamondbacks. What are their, if they were to have
yeah.
a musical spirit
So
animal,
okay, I have the answer for you.
rip it.
Okay, so Diamondbacks. Oh well, let me start with the most obvious. Astros would be Nickelback
Why?
because they're the biggest and the most annoying. So everyone knows who Nickelback is. Obviously, we all are aware of the Astros are. They're the most annoying. We're tired of hearing them. No one wants to hear Nickelback, and nobody wants to hear that the Astros are in another World Series.
Okay, got it.
So Astros, Nickelback.
Got it.
Phillies would be Three Doors Down.
Can you sing? What are their songs? Just what is it?
They have that Kryptonite song, don't they?
Oh,
Yeah.
So they're like the Transformer. Dun, dun, dun,
No,
dun.
that's Linkin Park.
Okay.
But
Whatever.
No.
Krypton. Move along. Move.
no, that's
I'm just ripping like
You're-
totally
no.
wrong song.
no Three Doors Down. Kryptonite, like
I know it. Will you be my kryptonite? Super.
there you go. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's them.
I got you.
I'm gonna.
No, it is. It is. Oh, I don't know. I know that song is what I'm
Yes,
singing.
it is them. Okay, God, you
okay.
had me questioning myself. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's Phillies. Like they're kind of more the rock. They're kind of more rocky, but they're still kind of like.
That's Phillies.
That's
Three Doors
Phillies.
Down. I like that.
Three Doors Down. Sounds like them. They're a little bit more rocky. They're a little bit edgier.
Okay.
But honestly, you put them on at a party, no one's upset.
Got you.
They know how to get down. You can sing along to the songs. If you're drunk, you're like, yeah, like you're into
That's
it.
true.
You're
It's
into
like
it.
Mr. Brightside vibe.
Right.
Okay.
And then Diamondbacks, I feel, are like kind of like a Daughtry.
Oh.
Like,
I like
no
that.
one has like you don't hate Daughtry, and you don't.
They're just there.
He's
they're
just there.
Yeah.
They're just
Daughtry's
there.
just
And it was
there.
a nice guy who won American Idol once, and you've got nothing bad to say about them, but you kind of forget they're there. That's why they're going to win the World Series. But that's
Right.
what I would say the three are.
Okay.
I think that fits.
I really don't know what I would say because I don't know.
But does this not make sense?
It does make
Okay.
sense. But I guess for me, I did think about the Astros. I was like, the Astros to me would be Drake or Taylor Swift.
Oh, so we weren't going. I went with bands that were like Creed.
Oh, I don't know. I, was just
I
like,
went with Creed
that
like
makes
bands.
sense.
Yeah.
I like that better
Okay.
because, well, I don't even know what the other two would be
The Astros are definitely Drake.
because they're like always number one.
Yeah.
I was gonna say maybe Taylor Swift because
And
always
you're
number one.
kind of tired of
And a
hearing
lot
them.
of people hate Taylor Swift.
Right. I went with bands, like I said, that were like Creed.
Yeah.
So I didn't think about what.
I didn't know anything other than to just think I should have done that. I
Yeah.
done like, but also
well,
I
you'll
like
clip,
I literally
you can
could.
clip mine for the
No, but I
highlight.
was gonna say like literally I didn't even know what half the songs for Three Doors Down. Like, I don't know a lot of
All you have to
That's
think about
more
is
of your- that's more
the
your
da,
time.
da, da, da.
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
that. When I
that's the
started
only one you
singing
need
it.
to know.
I found it eventually.
That's the one you need to know.
I was just getting there
And then
slowly.
you get the vibe. You get
Yeah.
the vibe.
So
So that's my answer.
Cool. Well, I guess that rounds off everything that I wanted to talk about, unless you had anything that comes to your mind.
No,
Are you
I
going to
mean,
watch some of these games?
while I'm in
Championship?
Europe,
It's true. So you do leave for Paris,
yeah.
but you're not going to leave yet. There's going to be some games.
There's gonna be some
Sunday,
games,
Monday.
Yeah, I'll probably, you know what? I'm going to be
Less games now.
Thank God,
Yeah.
finally. I'm going to be most interested in Arizona. I mean, I'm interested in both, honestly.
Texas,
I cannot be a
baby.
Look, I'm wearing a
Texas,
hat. Like, I'm ready for the
standoff.
Texas standoff, babe. Let's go. Like,
Alright, yeah.
we're riding out.
telling ya.
So, yeah, I'll be watching some games. We're finally at a point where, for me at least, less to keep up with. Let's get into it.
Now that you got 4 teams
We know who's going to
Four.
be, and we know that 2 out of those 4 are going to be
in the World Series.
And one of them is going to be our champion.
And it's going to be Phillies Astros again. So we'll look forward to that. Well, appreciate you guys for sticking with us. It's been a little bit of a longer one here, but we had a lot to talk about, a lot of great storylines. And I hope you enjoyed these costumes, especially with Halloween coming around. Maybe we might get into a little bit more costumes. And she didn't wear her apron from last episode.
You'll see the apron
We're gonna have to get
eventually.
that apron on.
You don't take out the
That
apron
old,
so
dirty,
soon.
Sweet Bay, nasty apron.
Well,
All right. Well, what do you want to say something?
howdy, partner. Well, what do you say when you say goodbye?
Howdy. And talk to you in the morning.
Till later. If you liked this video, make sure you rate, review, and subscribe. Like that button.
Follow us on YouTube. We got Spotify now. It's official.
Smash
Got
it.
it down here somewhere.
Leave a comment, especially if you really like Bart, because he's here and he's very camera shy, but he's here for you today.
And subscribe so I can get some money to fix this hat. It's a little messed up. I left it in my car and it's fluid. So.
Okay, selfish things.
Yeah, I don't like doing this. I'm in it for the money. All right. See you guys.
I miss my shot, guess I blew it again.